Hey there, my name is Katie and this is the How to Be a Minimalist YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me and I hope you enjoy this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps to support the channel and helps it to grow. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about 3 minimalist mistakes that I think a lot of people make. Either at the beginning of their journey or even more experienced minimalists can make these mistakes very easily. Let's jump right into the video. The first mistake that I made in minimalism was only applying it to physical possessions. There are so many areas in which we can practice minimalism. It can be applied to almost anything. We can apply it to either relationships, we can apply it to our budget, we can apply it to the way that we spend our time. There are so many different ways in which we can practice minimalism. It's really easy to get stuck in a rut and just worry about how many things we have and what we've decluttered, but what else in our lives needs decluttering that we have not spent a significant amount of time on. I actually had to make a lot of changes and find a good balance with making time for really beautiful things in my life and discarding things that were taking up too much time of my life. Ever since I had that mental shift with minimalism though, things have gone so much better. The second mistake that I made as a minimalist was I didn't practice my kind of minimalism. Of course, I didn't really know what my kind of minimalism was, but a lot of times I think people have intuition about what they could be doing or practicing, and because it doesn't look like somebody else's type of minimalism, they don't do it. A lot of times there can be shame or guilt, or you think you have too many items even though you've decluttered and done a great job, or things like that. Or maybe you don't really want to worry so much about the physical possessions in your life because you're okay with where you are, but what you're really focusing on, or what you really want to focus on, are those things that are non-tangibles, that are, your relationships and your budget and those kinds of things. How many Netflix shows you watch. There's nothing wrong with practicing that kind of minimalism. There's nothing wrong with practicing minimalism in just one category. It's like probably going to make your life way better just by even focusing on one thing. I wish I would have done that from the beginning though, was defined my kind of minimalism and practiced that in the way that I wanted to. I kept comparing myself to others and it never worked out. So in the end, I ended up quitting kind of at the same time that I had that realization that it was all about stuff and trying to meet other people's expectations, and I just couldn't do it. Turns out that I'm a lot happier creating, defining my own kind of minimalism and practicing that. And I've gotten to be so much more involved with it than I ever thought that I would be, because I allowed myself to practice it the way that I felt really great about. The third mistake that I made in the beginning was thinking that where I was right at that moment was where I would be forever. It's just not true. We change, we grow, we develop. Of course, we want to do our best to stay kind of on the right track, but we also need to make sure that we are allowing ourselves to see that there's room for growth and not either being super critical of ourselves or, feeling like just quitting because we're so overwhelmed. I think there's also a good point where we can accept, like, okay, well, I would like to be there, but right now I'm here, so I'll take right here for right now. I think it's really important to just accept some of that and to understand that as long as we keep on making little changes, over time we will get where we want to go. Once I sorted these 3 things out in my head, I just became so much more of a deep practicer of minimalism, and it's just made me really happy being this way and having my life kind of roll with minimalism the way I want, and knowing that I always have room for growth, but also seeing where else I can apply minimalism. It's been a really good thing for me and my family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and remember, it's all about the experiences, not the stuff.